Hello from the other side. Hi everyone, my name is Americ, and today we're going to talk about The 100 Season 4, Episode 11, The Other Side. Now before I start, I have two things that I want to talk about. Yes, I am by my lonesome in this episode review because Sandrine was unfortunately unavailable, but she will be back next week. Hopefully. Speaking of next week, we are actually going to be late with our review because we're going to be a little bit busy during that time. So instead of the review being up right after the episode or the day after, it's actually going to be up over the weekend. Now let's jump into the episode and start with Arcadia. Monty basically spends his entire time trying to save Harper and Jasper from certain death and trying to use pretty much everything he can think of. And at first, he's not really successful with Harper, but he obviously turns around towards the end. However, our good old Jasper decides to just bite it and actually accelerate the whole process and commit suicide. As I predicted in my Who Will Die video, yes, I am that good. I know I've been very sort of like unhappy with Jasper's character this season. I acknowledge that. However, I will say that the death scene was really well done. I mean, they really did justice to that character by giving him that really strong moment where he's like, I don't want to go with you hating me. And then Monty says, I love you in the end. And there's the red moon in the background. Man, that was just an amazing scene. As a way to have the character sort of like leave the series, I feel like this was sort of like a very honorable way of doing it. And I appreciated that. Now let's move on to Becca's lab. Oh God, I loved that part of the episode. Now, everybody knows that Raven is my favorite character, but after this episode, Raven is even more of my favorite character, if that's even possible. Because if you think about it, Raven was alone. All the conversations that you saw in this episode was just Raven talking to herself. She was talking to Becca, who was encouraging her to just chuck it all and sort of like, whatever, you will die, so just go out in a blaze of glory. And also Sinclair, who was basically saying, no, you know what, you can figure this out. You can survive this. And I love that there was just two aspects of her own personality, with basically Becca being doubt and Sinclair being hope. And she was debating with hope and doubt, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful if you really thought about it. She was really talking to herself, and oh, I love that. Which ultimately culminated in Raven in an amazing twist, killing herself in order to live. That's crazy! I mean, Raven Reyes, man. And at the end, she's like, this is Raven, I'm alive. Oh, yes! Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm just hoping she makes it at this point because Prime Fire is still gonna happen, so she needs to find a way to survive this, but knowing her, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. Let's move on to the bunker. Oh, God. Can we just talk about how multiple levels of messed upness, if that's even a word, this whole situation was? If you think about it, Clarke and Jaha were like, yo, oh, we believe in you, but not really? So we're just gonna take our people and go and rush in, right? But as they're finding out through the radio, Octavia actually came out victorious, and she actually gave access to the bunker to everyone. So, I mean, already Jaha was like, I'm not opening that bunker. But after he heard that, he's like, no, not happening. Not opening that bunker for no one. Which obviously really highlighted the fact that there was a bit of a role shift happening in this episode. Basically, Clarke became really passive, and I feel like the burden of leadership has really started to really weigh on her, as evidenced in that moment with Nyla, where she's just like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I just want to save the human race. This is the best that I have. And in a way, Jaha is preying on that, right? He's preying on that leadership weakness from Clarke and taking over and saying, well, this is the right thing to do. Yeah, you're right, Clarke. This is what we need to do. We gotta protect the human race. When really the human race just happens to be your people. It's a little bit hypocritical. Just putting it out there, Jaha. Thankfully, Abby, who was not in on it, you know, surprisingly enough, decided to help Bellamy do the right thing and also happened to save Kane. I'm just putting that out there as, you know, that kind of stuff happened. Which led to the scene of Octavia and Bellamy reuniting. Oh, that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. The emotion. I love you. And they were hugging. And it was so really telling me that Bellamy's gonna die. I know you guys think I'm harping on this, but if you think about it, the man is getting a lot of close calls, and this is the closest he's been. I mean, Clarke was almost gonna shoot him, so you know the next episode, with the stakes risen to the next level, this is gonna go badly for Bellamy. I mean, all the bells and the signs are like, ah! Bellamy are gonna die, for sure. But let's talk about those stakes a little bit. So, now that Octavia, in her generosity, has decided to let all the clans in, everybody has a cap of 100 per clan. Which means that Sky Crew, which currently has about 400 people there, is gonna have to tell 300 of them, sorry, the show is called The 100, so you gots to go. It's gonna be messed up. Based on the trailer, it's gonna be superbly messed up because they're gonna have to resort to some sort of lottery. Not sure that everyone's gonna be down with the lottery results. As, you know, unsurprising as that may be. Like, seriously, imagine you're like, hey, you get to live. Psych, you don't get to live. Like, get out! But what about you? What were your biggest moments in this episode? What do you think about Jasper's death, Bellamy's faith? Comment below. Let me know. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our The 100 reviews. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye. I didn't even talk about Echo in this episode, but something tells me this is not the last time we hear of Echo. I'm just saying. I just see her coming back somehow, in some way, shape, or fashion. Echo forever.